Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with 16 Scandinavian musical masterpieces I couldn't live without. Yes, I decided to do Scandinavia in a clump. I didn't have to. I could have done Finland entirely separately. I mean, one of you even pointed that out in talking about the Czech stuff. There's so many fine 20th century Finnish composers. And if I really worked, I mean, I probably could have done Denmark too, actually, but it's more fun, I think, to do it all together because, well, they do have a certain regional ethos. I mean, melodic musical sensibility, the use of woodwind instruments, the muscular rhythmic thing, the cool Nordic. I don't know. There's things that they do that let you know where it's coming from. It's like Scandinavian furniture. It's a certain simplicity of design and elegance of form, and it's just wonderful stuff. But it's fun to do it as a clump. So we've got Denmark, Finland, Sweden, Norway, and Iceland. Yeah, 5 of them in 16 wonderful pieces. So that's your challenge, to come up with your own list of 16, but you must include every country except Iceland. I'll give you a break. You got to use at least 4 of the 5. So you can include Iceland and leave out somebody else. How's that? Is that fair? 4 out of the 5 Scandinavian countries here, 16 works, as many composers or as few as you want, but just 1 from each minimally. And let's see what you come up with. It should be awfully interesting. Anyway, let's get started. Finland, Sibelius, Symphony No. 4. Yeah, grim, dark, powerful, cold as ice. It's an incredible piece of music. So much fun. Oh my, it's powerful stuff. Madetoja, Symphony No. 2. It had to be number 2 or 3. I mean, they're both beautiful, beautiful works. Number 3 is neoclassical and very elegant and shapely. Number 2 is more romantic. It was sort of a wartime piece, and it's really, really lovely. I mean, I don't understand why it doesn't get played more often. It's a fantastically well put together and passionate piece of music that would be popular at any concert, and nobody knows it. So Madetoja Symphony No. 2. Give that a shot. You will be very impressed. Einar Englund. Englund was wonderful. Oh my goodness, what a fine composer. He gave up composing almost because, the serialists almost put him out of business, which is just such a sad thing. But then he made a comeback and wrote some really terrific music later in life. But I like The Great Wall of China. It's a delicious suite of incidental music that pays homage to Shostakovich and a bunch of other things besides. It's just fun. It's enormous fun and gives a real, I think makes a very strong and positive impression for a composer whose music I think is doomed to neglect. I really do, but it doesn't deserve it. His violin concerto is stunning. He wrote 7 terrific symphonies. The guy's good. The guy's really, really good. Rautavaara, Autumn Gardens. This is a fascinating work. It's mostly slow, mostly contemplative. Think of modern Finnish Delius or something like that, because he did all that garden stuff as well. What makes Autumn Gardens so marvelous to me is that it's a work of absolutely luminous beauty, but it's scored for a very standard chamber orchestra, just double winds and a couple of horns, and there's a tuba in it, but no heavy brass otherwise, and strings, and a small amount of percussion. And it's incredibly dissonant. I mean, it really is harmonically. There's very few consonant harmonies in it, but it's just gorgeous. It really is, and it flows, and it's really a special piece. Give it a shot and see what you think. I think it'd be really impressive. And Jonas Kokkonen, composer of the great Finnish opera, The Last Temptations, which is marvelous, but his 4th symphony, I just love his 4th symphony. It's very Sibelian in the way it's put together. It has the Sibelius of the kind where sort of fragments drift around and then they come together by way of a climax with the big tune. and you hear it, very, very gradually assemble itself. It's absolutely terrific. I mean, the first movement does that, and then the two does dum ba da 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 dum bum, which sounds exactly like the Frank Martin Petite Symphonie Concertante and Hindemith Symphony in E flat, but who knows? And then the scherzo. I mean, the scherzo is da 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 da. Anyway, I know there aren't a lot of people who run around humming Kokkonen's Fourth Symphony, but trust me, although it's quite modern in its handling of texture and timbre, it is recognizably symphonic and very, very concise and brilliantly written. It's a wonderful piece with a genuine Finnish atmosphere. This sort of desolation combined with outbursts of great passion. It's really, really cool. So that's worth a try. Then we move on to Sweden. Atterberg, Symphony No. 3. Oh, I love his Symphony No. 3. I mean, it's got the storm middle movement. And the storm middle movement is one of the best pieces of music in search of a movie that you've ever heard in your life. It's totally marvelous. The rest of it is kind of a little bit long for its material, but it's so pretty. I mean, at any given moment, my God, it's just beautiful. Atterberg loved rich orchestration. He liked big climaxes. He didn't really know what to do formally with any of it, but so what? It's really, really lovely. And then Stenhammar, his Serenade for orchestra. People talk about the Second Symphony as sort of his orchestral masterpiece, and it's a very neoclassical, sort of Nordic kind of work. And it's beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. But I think the Serenade is his real orchestral masterpiece. It has just that much more element of fantasy and romantic freedom to it. And it's just marvelous, really marvelous. And it's been recorded a bunch of times, and it always makes a strong impression. Dag Wirén. Now, Wirén is just really a fine composer. He was one of those composers who was so disciplined, he eventually wrote himself out. His music got smaller and more concise and more polished until it kind of vanished entirely in a wisp. But he wrote a bunch of symphonies, 5 of them, and the third is first. Oh, they're all first class, but the third is really first rate. It doesn't have quite the concision and brevity of his later symphonies, which means they'll never be performed. But it's got a really tight thematic workmanship with very catchy material and terrific orchestration. It's wonderful. There's much more to this guy than just that Serenade for strings that gets played every 15 minutes. Fine, fine composer. And now we move on to Denmark. Yeah, we got 4 composers from Denmark. Carl Nielsen, of course, the Third Symphony, the Espansiva. What a warm bear hug of a symphony that is. Oh my God, it's just gorgeous. We played it in my community orchestra, and it went over really, really well. And it's always a magical moment in the slow movement when the two soloists, the tenor and the soprano, do their offstage vocalese. It's so beautiful. It's really so beautiful. Is it a baritone and a soprano? I think it's a baritone and a soprano. Whatever it is, they're off stage and they're in this landscape, this musical landscape, and all of a sudden these voices come from nowhere, going ah. Well, they don't exactly do that, but you get the idea. I mean, it was a magical moment, even in our period instrumenty type performance. Really, really beautiful. Holmboe, Symphony No. 5. Holmboe has gotten very little credit since he passed away. I mean, he was the biggest Danish symphonist after Nielsen. Now they're all pushing sort of Langgaard, but Holmboe was a neoclassicist and just a first-class talent, really gifted. And I just adore his symphonies. And the 5th is a real powerful piece. It's incredibly catchy and rugged and rhythmic. He's kind of like the Danish Roussel of the Third Symphony on. You've got this driving rhythm throughout and working with small motives to create really impressive and powerful, cogent symphonic statements. It's good stuff. Give him a shot. You're going to be very, very pleased if you do. And then, of course, Langgaard, who's amazing. His music of the spheres. Ooh, the music of the spheres. It's Langgaard. It's crazy. It's for like 55 part strings and a choir, and they're singing about Jesus and other things and space, and it's all over the place, but in a good way, in a really, really good way. There's a very fine recording with Rostošvenský conducting on Chandos. If you can't find it, there's also one on Da Capo. So there are a couple recordings. I have the score. I mean, it's like this. It's got so many different parts and things. It's just really, really, got an itch there. There we go. Really, really nifty. Absolutely first-class stuff. And then Knut Riisager, his ballet Benzin, about love at a gas station. Yay, why not? Riisager was a Danish composer of the French school. He was kind of like a French composer. He was interested in ballet. He wrote some really good symphonies, very neoclassical, very clean and neat, and full of interesting orchestral sniglets. But his ballets are really where he's at. We've talked about them before, and then Da Capo did a wonderful series. In fact, I think I have a pile of them sitting right here. Aren't they over there? Yes, they're down here. They're over here. Yes, they're over there. I know they are. And they are fabulous. Give him a shot. He's an amazing find. I know. Everybody I've talked to about him who's gone and listened to his ballets and other works has come back to me and said, whoa, where's this guy been? And he lived to the 70s, the 1970s. It's modern stuff and very, very, very good. Okay, Norway. 3 composers. Grieg, Peer Gynt. Yeah. Is it the greatest incidental score ever in the history of the universe? Well, it's up there. It's definitely up there. It's right up there with Arlésienne and, some of Sibelius' stuff and whatnot, Peleus and Melisande, but Peer Gynt is amazing. And it's one of the few incidental scores, I might add, where if you listen to the whole thing, it's as good as the suites. Because there's a bunch of music that's not in the suites, and it's exciting, and it's fun, and it flows well, and you can listen to the whole thing and be perfectly happy, as opposed to wishing, they stop yelling and talking. And so it's absolutely great. Halvorsen, Johan Halvorsen, Bergensiana, his Rococo variations on an old melody from Bergen. When was the last time you heard that? Let me tell you, it's a find. Halvorsen was a fabulous composer. I mean, and there are 4 discs of his orchestral works on Chandos, and on C-Max they did a lot of his incidental music and other things like that. He is completely neglected, and for all the wrong reasons. I mean, he deserves attention. He was tonal when tonality was going out the, he was a little conservative. But he was good. And that's what matters. So Halvorsen deserves a real shot. And Tveitt. Tveitt's Prillar. I mean, what is a Prillar? Nobody knows what a Prillar is, but it doesn't really matter. It's an ancient Norwegian Viking sort of thing. He wrote this wonderful piece for double string orchestra and regular orchestra, that is, with winds and brass and some cymbals and things. And it's so beautiful. I mean, the opening, you'll never get out of your head. It starts with the violins all going, it's got all this busy string business. And then the brass come in with, ya da da da, ya da da da, ya da, ya da ba ba da. And it just gets stuck in your head forever. See, it's got stuck in mine. It's still there. See, I can't get it out. It's absolutely great. It's on BIS. There's only one recording of it, but that's a fabulous one. It's just amazing. And of course, from Iceland, Jan Leifs, my buddy who wrote Hekla the Volcano, which is not my choice here, actually. My choice is Baldr, which has been recorded twice, but the only one you'll probably find is on BIS. This is his choreographic drama thing. It has a volcanic eruption in it. It's not as big as the one in Hekla, but it's pretty damn impressive. And it has, the evolution of the subhumans, which is all dance of the sub-creatures. That's fun. And then there's hammer throwing, and Baldr gets killed, and then there's a lament, and then there's a volcano, and oh, goodness. It's about an hour and a half long. It's his largest work. And it's all in parallel fourths and fifths and sort of Icelandic folk music stuff. It's so much fun. It's incredibly interesting music and powerful and haunting all at once. And oh gosh, it's just great. So there you have it. That was easy. That was really easy and really fun. 16 Scandinavian musical masterpieces I absolutely can't live without. And now it's your turn. Remember, you've got to cover 4 of the 5 countries in question, but after that, it's all up to you. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.